They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep...
Hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, lose in a bedroom, booze in a brand new CUNY. Seen hand dragging his graphite, cross contour, a little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you do, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs, plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will, the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction. A missing a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids at a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison. Voice to the resin. Capture a map at a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a four right of a torso hung on a warping spine of a portion reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush, then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury your life. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings.
I wanna live like it's Mardi Gras and go dumb with my whole squad.
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Bridgewater's Vikings going up against Bortles' Jaguars. With that, let's send you upstate to Everbank Field in Jacksonville. We're standing by our two men who will call the action. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On first down, Bortles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Kendricks in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. He sets to fight. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. And this one complete to Julius Thomas. Give him 12 yards on that one and earns him a fresh set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that's going to make it.
And it's a lot of fun watching that come to the surface.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. He finds Hearns left side. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
The play clock's running down. To throw is Bortles. And Robinson with a big catch. Give him 23 yards on the pickup. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. First carry for Chris Ivory. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Caught right side. It's Lewis. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The tight end, Julius Thomas, the intended target. And it'll be 4th down. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Yeah, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
So what a let-off there. You figure that was an easy 3 points. Instead, it turns into nothing.
And from that close of range, if you start it left, your goose is cooked. And this thing, well, it never had a chance to straighten itself out.
The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And Charles Diggs looked pretty good week 3 of the preseason. All 5 targets that came his way, he caught him for 71 yards.
He was known as a steal last year because they got him later in the draft. Now he's just one of their better players. He may be the #1 receiver. Depends on how Laquan Treadwell comes along, but it doesn't really matter for them. A big-time target for Teddy Bridgewater, and that'll take the pressure off the running game for Adrian Peterson.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. So the D-line's going to spread out. 2nd down, Bridgewater. And here's the first NFL catch from Laquan Treadwell. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. Third and short yardage. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of the team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. Everson Griffin. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd down, Peterson. He finds some open field here. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Bridgewater now. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. 2nd down following the incompletion. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. A 2nd down throw for Britt. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jared Odrick in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you're facing intentional grounding call.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Bridgewater to throw it. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, it told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. And he puts it through. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he is out of bounds here on the return. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Now a play fake here on first down. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second. Now Bortles throwing on second down. Under pressure, they got him again. Linval Joseph in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing is Bortles, surveying the field. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's brought down after a good game. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
To throw, it's Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on fourth. Here we go on fourth down with Bortles. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. From the gun, Bridgewater. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. They'll get 19 yards there. And it'll give the Vikings a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Bridgewater on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. A second down throw for Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. On third down, now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Jags grab it, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's second down. On second down, here's Bortles. He's got time. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half, Bridgewater. He's got time in the pocket. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Peterson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
They run again with Peterson. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Taking it about the 16. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They go play action here on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A pickup there of 37. And the Jags are going to have a 1st down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sharif Floyd in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
Now a play fake. Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. A good pick up there at 20 yards.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On the ground, Ivory. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. From back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal. Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. Ivory. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
Well, they're going to try this thing. They're at the 5, 4th and goal. They're going to go for it. We'll see. Run, probably pass to both in the arsenal. Borrell's going to throw. And it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
so
well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They come out here in the eye. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3.
This guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Again, Peterson. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. Bridgewater from his end zone on 3rd down. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. So maybe the defense will have to kickstart the offense here. The first points of the game comes from that defensive unit.
Yeah, sometimes you get together and you say, hey, maybe it's on us today. We have to go out and force the issue and make a play and get everyone else going.